Sai Ram. I'm so happy to be here and sharing my experience of Swami. He has given it to me with all of you. It was in 1964. I was a medical student. My professor was also an administrative role in the hospital, Jipmer in Pondicherry.
India, Tamil Nadu.
One day he just like that called me. I heard you're singing bhajan yesterday at the temple. Can you come to my home and sing?
So which temple was this?
This was in the campus. We used to have a small Vinayaka temple.
Okay.
So we used to go there. Regularly I used to go and I used to sing some bhajans.
So not Sai Bhajans?
Not Sai bhajan.
Okay.
In fact, when he asked me to sing some bhajans, I said, yes, I heard you singing Rama Krishna bhajan. We have a Sai bhajan at our home every Thursday. You come.
Okay.
Sir, I don't know any Sai bhajan. No, you don't worry. You know Sai or not. I know you don't know. You just come and sing Rama Krishna song. And then slowly I started going. And I really felt very good for two reasons. The discipline they had, my professor's home. And secondly, he never behaved like a tough person, which we are used to in the office and the pathology department.
So you saw a different side of him?
Totally different, unusually, very welcoming side of him. So I got, used to, and I got the comfort of going to him. And wherever he would go for a bhajan outside the town, I'll say, I'm going on this Saturday, be ready, I'll take you.
Okay.
That's all. No mincing words. He'll just say, you're coming. So I just go. So wherever he went, we went. That's how I got introduced. So in 1964, within few months after this experience, he said he was going to Puttaparthi and come join us. We are taking a bus. Get inside the bus. No, you don't have to pay anything. You just get in. We will take you. So that was my first experience coming to Puttaparthi. It took about 2 days to reach here from Pondicherry. Unusually remote and, in the village, I never ever imagined where somebody like they are saying is here. So anyway, at that time, Swami, people introduced us as volunteers in the medical side. So that's a good thing because we could go anywhere. And I was going wherever Swami was around, but I was more interested in Raja Reddy and Veena Vijaya singing at the time.
You were always...
I was inclined to... That music was, was a trap, I think Swami used to get me, I used to think. And so it was a very enjoyable trip. At that time, did I have a feeling that Swami is God? No. Really, I thought it must be a holy person and people are making it something about him. Maybe the organization is creating a Swami out of him. This was my impression. So I go back home and I bought few books from Kasturi. I showed it to my dad. My dad is not that easy believer. So he started reading the book more than I read. So one day he said, you know what, I read all these books. Don't ever underestimate Sai Baba.
Mm-hmm.
He's not just an ordinary person you think. He told me. There must be some power. He has got an unusual power. You should follow his guidelines, and that's what counts. You don't need to worry whether he's God or he's not God. That is his business to be God or not to be God. Your thing is just listen to his, guidelines he gives, and live your life. You'll have a very good life. This is my father's prompting from his reading. So he never stopped me from going to Swami. So he said, you can, anytime you want, you can go. All the good things he says, learn from him. This is the kind of advice my dad gave me. Since then, I've been so much used to coming here. So not very regularly, because once a year, then I went to United States.
When you were a medical student, so did you make some more visits before you went to the US?
Yeah, a couple of visits, like between 64 and 72, maybe I would have come 3-4 times.
Okay.
But not very often. But I used to regularly attend. We had a bhajan at our home, and very much involved with the Sai activities, not necessarily a trip. Maybe you would have come for another Shivaratri, but we come as a group and then go something.
So your involvement was restricted only to Sai Bhajans, or used to participate in
At
other
that
activities?
time, mainly Sai Bhajans.
Bhajans.
Yeah.
So
And
you went to your professor's house as well as had bhajans in your house.
Bhajan home, yes.
Bhajans was always a big puller.
Right. And Swami did mention in one of our interviews, devotional coordinator. This is many years later. Very touchy subject. Because people can get their jealousy. So you have to be very careful. I was not even an officer. Just like that, I was saying devotional coordinator. Even that word hasn't come then. As soon as I went back to USA, then they said there's these 5 officers for each center. President, vice president, devotional coordinator. We used to call Bala because, SSCs,
Yeah.
Sai Spiritual Education Coordinator. This is the service coordinator. So they kind of said, yeah, you are going to be devotional coordinator. So that's how. And even before the term devotional coordinator came, Bhagawan told me, prompted me, devotional coordinator.
So before you became devotional coordinator
Before
in the
I even
US.
heard that term coordinator and all that. So later only this, otherwise they used to say, I don't even remember now the name they used to use for devotional coordinators. So Swami said that.
So you went to the US in the 70s, early 70s.
72.
72. And so you started visiting the Sai centers there? Or?
That's right. Wherever I go, I'll sing bhajans, and that's how.
The joy of singing bhajans took you to Sai centers.
Absolutely.
That's amazing.
And Swami said, it's a great thing, continue to sing namas. But one thing, this is very distinct, I remember. Whatever you do, don't worry about others, like jealousy and all that. That will be there. Whatever you do, think of Swami first. So this is the one sentence. Whatever you do, think of Swami first. And that, stuck into my mind.
So this instruction came from him before he went to the US or in the later years?
In the later years, I think once in a while I come, and for some reason every time he would talk to me or something.
Wow.
So I didn't even know why I'll go. He will do that.
So after you went to the US, you kept coming. Whenever you came to India, you visited
At least
him?
once a year, something like that. Whenever I come, I will spend some time.
Wonderful. So that was the time when you said you had a lot of interactions with Swami.
That's true.
And so what are your memories from those visits? Anything that you would like to share about certain instructions that Swami gave or certain interactions that you've had?
Before the Super Speciality episode, in the first interview you said you are confused and you want to know whether to come to India or you want to stay in USA. Why confusion? Everything is going well. Stay there for 5 years and then come.
Which year was this?
This was 1983, December 8th. That's the day I had an interview with Swami.
Wow.
And he took our children and every whole family was there. And Swami talked to everybody and he said, don't worry, I'll be with you, and you come in 5 years, I'll see you. This is exactly what he said. Exactly on that day I was here.
After 5 years?
After 5 years. December 8th, I was here.
Wow.
And thinking that I'm going to come back here for good. That's my thinking on December 88. So I go to Swami and Swami, you asked me to come in 5 years. Yes, I know. I didn't say anything. At that time, I think he was asking for where is cassette. The way he was saying that word cassette, I didn't get it. He was saying cassette, something like that. K, like cassette. Where is cassette? Something like that. So then he just took it from my pocket. I got it. Then he went. It was just a small bhajan or singing in our home, like my kids and everybody, my sister and everybody. So she made a cassette and to be given to my mother. So the moment he said, he took it and then went in. So, I told my mother, my sister made a tape, but we didn't get to give it to you because Swami took it. If Swami has taken, that's so good. Even should be happier.
Yes.
That's what my mother said. It was a nice experience. At that time, every day I will be asking Swami, I will come. So he tells me every day I will ask him, Swami, first day I am posing a question. The children need a visa, Swami. And I talked to them and they said if the principal of the school gives a certificate, they'll be here for 10 years, we'll give a 10-year visa. This is what they told me when I was there. At that time I was in New York. So I met the principal. He says, yes, no problem. If Swami says yes, we'll give you a certificate, sir. So next day I'm saying, Swami, can I resign my job? Then he tells me, why you want to resign your job? It's a good job. You're doing good service. Please keep that in mind. You're serving Swami. Please keep that and continue. So third day I really got confused. He said, come back in 5 years. And here it says, continue, do this, do that. And the third day I said, can we sell our home? He said, no, it's a good home. Keep it. Don't sell. And the next day I ran out of questions to ask him and he said, Swami, you asked me to come back. Chala santosham. You can go tomorrow. So I went back. That's one little episode of...
So you had interviews 3 consecutive days?
3. I mean, it's not in the interview. Every time I'll come and stand in front of me in the darshan line.
Okay.
For some reason, I always got quite a spot there. And
wonderful.
So
it's really amazing how Bhagawan took that cassette. It's almost like all the bhajans that you were singing are offering to him and he accepted that offering physically.
I didn't even realize that. As though it's just a group of bhajans and he takes...
I mean, it was almost like all your life you have spent singing bhajans and you have so much love for bhajans, and here the Lord for whom you sing physically accepted that.
Physically accepted it. Absolutely.
It's so amazing.
You should be very grateful to Swami. Yes.
And now he guided you that you should continue to do his work. He said, you're doing my work.
Right.
And I continue to serve in the US. So you went back to the US.
I went back. And it was during, I used to come again once in a while and we'll take letters, I'll give something, Once my father was very sick, so he calls me for interview. And at that time I told him, Swami, I came, from Chicago, my father is very sick, Swami. Kadu, your father was sick, today is okay.
Oh.
So he was sick for about 10 days with a very high fever.
He was in India.
Here in India, I took him to Chennai Apollo Hospital. They were not sure what it was, so they were doing many tests. So I said, at least one day I'll, ask my sister to stay there. I'll go to Swami and pray and then come back. This is what my idea was. So the moment I came in, I was called in for an interview. And Swami was saying, you don't worry about your father. I will take care of him. Say, where is he? In Apollo Hospital. Yeah, they will do many tests, but they won't know what it is. It is a viral fever. He will be all right. I will give him prasad. Go give it to him. Within few days, he will be discharged. You can take him home. That's exactly what happened.
Fantastic.
I went back and asked the internist, so what did they come up with? Do we know? No, fever has come down, but we don't know what's the cause. Then I mentioned to the physician, this is what a holy man in Andhra was telling me in person. I think that's the only thing which makes sense to me is a viral fever. That's what the physician was saying. And my father gradually improved and he was doing well afterwards for many, many years.
Oh. So this was before the hospital's inauguration?
Before the hospital inauguration.
So now tell us about how you happened to get associated with the hospital.
That's a very good question. My professor was always in touch with me. One day he wrote and saying that He's involved with this hospital project, and Swami is building a very big hospital. And can you kindly come and help me? But you need to take about 4 to 6 weeks vacation. And can you come over and help me? Because the newer thing in pathology, I would like you to come here and help me in person. The moment he said, I didn't want to say no. Took 6 weeks vacation and I came here. So his name is Dr. Bala Subramaniam. And also there's another urology doctor, Dr. Butt.
Yes.
And
Dr. H.S. Bhatt.
H.S. Butt.
Famous. He's almost considered the father
Swami
of
would call
urology.
him, do you know him? He's the father of urology.
Yes.
Swami would introduce. And I've heard of Dr. Butt before. So we all stayed together. So when he came, I came with the impression that I'm here to help, Dr. Balasubramanian. As soon as I was here, I distinctly remember it was November 2nd or so. I was in the 20th row in the, the darshan line. Somewhere he came and stood and just something like that. I wasn't even sure it was me, so with little hesitation, I went closer to him. Go inside. So I knew it was me. So I went inside. Then the interview, at that time, the previous day, I was having a lot of heart palpitation.
Mm-hmm.
I never thought, oh my God, am I going to help doctor? Because I myself, I'm sick. So I didn't tell this anybody. I took another tablet of digoxin or something. So I'm thinking I'll be all right next day. That next morning when he called me inside the interview room, he looked at me. I was sitting just next to him in the interview room. Doctor? I said, yes, Swami. You're a doctor, but you're also a patient.
Oh my God.
And I know I was having a lot of irregular heartbeat problem. And he looked at me, yes, Swami. Materialized a small medallion and then gave it to me. Then he said, see, his Chief Justice from Kashmir, show it to him. Mm-hmm. So the materialized medallion goes to him. So he was doing this, and then there were a few more people sitting on the side. Somebody wanted, so it goes around the interview room. And here, my God, I should get it before, it disappears. Something like that. So when I got it finally, then I said, thank you, Swami. Portuco. Portuco means, wear. Swami, I will wear it later, Swami. Why? Wear it now. And so I go closer to his ear and said, Swami, I don't have chain, Swami. I'll go to room and then I'll wear this. Don't have chain? Because the same way, materialize the chain. I told him, Swami, you put it for me, Swami. So I gave the medallion back to him. So he took his own time and putting it everything, and then I put my head on his lap.
Wow.
And then he tied this. Completely normal. Instantaneous. This I never ever felt. Even now, I feel, excuse me, I get overwhelmed. So generally to correct the heartbeat like that, you need anesthesia, you need a little shock. So it takes about at least half hour to do this procedure. Instantaneous, it ties this one. I'm completely normal. And I could back and forth walk and without any problem. So then he calls me in the interview room, calls me separately. And he said, so tell me about you, doctor. So what can you do in this big hospital? Yes, Swami, I'm helping Dr. Balasubramaniam. Now I want you to take the role. I want you to be in charge. You will be the senior person and you would be helping everybody. What can you do? I said, Swami, I can do blood bank. I can do all the tissue. I can do the cancer diagnosis. Cancer diagnosis later, not now. Then he said, blood checking, Swami, urine test and chemistry, all these things I can do, Swami. Yes. All this is very important. Many big surgeries that are going to be done. Super Speciality. It's a very big hospital. So, are you ready for that? Yes, Swami. Can you do all the work? And yes, Swami. Definitely for you, Swami. At that time, I mentioned about my children. Yes, we will take care of. Anyhow, then he said, don't worry, we have a good school, you can bring children. You can have a good life here, you can help Swami. This is exactly what he was saying. And, okay. And since then, for about 6 weeks, it was such a great time for me because I was there literally with him every time. He'll come to Purnachandra Hall. What did you get today? What is this one? And all the questions he will ask. And so we were trying to slowly, and Dr. Balasubramaniam was the one who was helping me. Mrs. Prema Bhatt,
Yes.
the wife of Dr. Bhatt, she was in microbiology. She was a microbiologist. She also helped for the microbiology part of the lab. So it was a very good, we had a wonderful time, as though we are doing something great kind of feeling. But things were not going the way we would want it to go. I thought maybe from USA we're expecting too much. They're building on one side, there's no water, there's so much dirt. It's unbelievable. It was on the 16th or 17th, Dr. Goldstein was asking me, Ram, is everything ready? Because Swami had a big meeting with everybody. He said, Prime Minister Rao is coming and definitely everybody has to be ready by then. So are you ready? Your lab, everything okay? And I said, sir, we don't have one. Dr. Goldstein, we don't even have a place to put the equipments. There is nothing ready yet. What are we talking? So even if I do something and there's no electricity, all of a sudden there is a current cut. So everything had to be reset. So it's going to be very difficult to do it in few days. Did you talk to Dr. Sathya? Did anybody appraise Dr. Sathya about this? I said, I keep telling him about how difficult it's going to be. Sathya says, I don't know what to do, Bala. I'm getting, I think, insane. What am I going to do? But we will leave it to Swami. This is exactly what Dr. Sathya would say. But that didn't give me what we'll leave it to Swami. We have to do, so, but we're not doing much. So, and that's the time Swami was coming and I said, Swami, I need to speak to you. This was on the 17th of November. About what? Swami will come and ask, about what? Swami, about Super Speciality Hospital. Okay, you come tomorrow morning. Come and meet me at 7:30. I'll be behind in the hall, in the Purnachandra Hall. There is a room for me. You come there. But don't bring anybody. You should come all by yourself. Don't bring anybody. Come alone. Yes, Swami. So the next day, 18th morning, that was. So I went directly where is indicated. And there was some volunteers were there. And I explained to them, I'm Dr. Bala, I'm working. And Swami is expecting me here at 8 o'clock. It was 7:50 or so in the morning. So here they made me sit, and just above in the room, he's talking to many students. What was he talking? He's talking about Sathya, Dharma, Shanti, Prema. Here I'm sitting, oh my God, we are not even ready. Everybody is having such a big tension. Things were not going all right. Here is talking about Sai. He has so much time to talk about Sathya, Dharma, Shanti, Prema. Why is he chosen this time to talk to them? The electricity guy is crying. The water guy cannot get water. The anesthesiologist cannot put their machine. And Dr. Venugopal was the chief surgeon at the time. He said, Bala, I think you are better ready than we are all. We don't have anything to do now. I don't know how we can do surgery. We'll see. So with that set of mind, I go to Swami, thinking that, Swami, we have to stop this because we cannot. So I took some courage to tell him that.
You told him that?
This is exactly what, I'm hearing the boys, happily smiling, laughing, and they were all coming out. Swami also was laughing, patting boys. They were all coming down. So slowly he came down. Come, doctor, kya samachar? So he comes and sits next to me in the sofa and tell me, you wanted to tell me something. Then I started saying, Swami, you shouldn't get very mad, angry with me, Swami. I didn't use the word mad. I said, you should not get angry with me because what I'm going to say, you may get angry, Swami. No. You tell me whatever you want to tell Swami. Swami, we are not ready, Swami. Why? Swami, reagents are all expired. We cannot do the testing properly. So I'm trying to generalize the whole thing so that I'm thinking Swami will understand. So, why it's not ready? Swami, the reagents are all old. The fridge is not working. So they kept it there. So it is the college boys, very irresponsible. That's what Swami was saying. So Adala Swami, even then there is an electricity cut. It's very hard to get these reagents. If you do a proper job, we need these reagents. And can we get it from Bangalore? Can we send somebody to Hyderabad and get it? Yes, Swami, we'll do all this. I even got my technician from Pondicherry for this. And we are all working, Swami. So, what do you say now? Swami, is it possible to do the major surgery later, Swami, instead of doing all on one day? Swami thinks for a minute. See, you gave us, you are given a responsibility by Swami and you are doing your duty. It is your responsibility to come and tell Swami. So otherwise, how will Swami know? This is exactly what he said. I fell into the trap. And I said, okay, Swami doesn't know, maybe we have to tell him. Maybe they are not telling him properly. So this is a kind of, almost I'm treating him like a ordinary human being. So he said, don't worry. I'm very happy that you came and told me. Now you tell me the suggestion. What can you do? Then I looked at him, Swami, can we do minor surgeries, some catheterization and all those? You come and inaugurate and bless the hospital with the Prime Minister when he comes. And then within a week or so, we will get ready, Swami. So good suggestion. So that's why you are the doctors, I'm just Swami. You should come and tell us whatever your problem, you should come and tell. You don't worry about anything. You go back today, tonight, I want you to sleep well. Last few days you never slept. Yes, Swami. So I was really so relieved. Now I know Swami is going to only, but he told me, don't worry, I will talk to Venugopal. If I talk to others, they won't understand. I will talk to Venugopal and you don't worry, you go to sleep. That's what he was saying on the 18th. So I was so thrilled. Number one, I'm thinking here, may Bala, I talked to Sathya Sai Baba himself to tell him what's the problem. And Swami also listened to me. That kind of, I think, was so proud of myself. So next day, I sat next to Dr. Venugopal. As soon as Swami opened the door, he comes out to the veranda, and Venugopal was sitting. He smiled at me and blessed me, and he asked Venugopal to come in. So I know what he's going to talk to him. So after Venugopal, after a few minutes talking to Swami, comes out from the interview room. At those days, the interview room was right there inside the mandir. So Swami used to reside upstairs. So he came out, and then Venugopal came out and sat back next to me. And he said, I will tell you later after Swami finishes the first darshan rounds, then we will go out and talk. I go out and he says, Bala, please come with me. Because that day also, I didn't know who the patients are. Even Dr. Venugopal didn't know who the patients is going to be operating. If that is the case, how am I going to cross-match which unit to which patient? I won't know what the group. This is my dilemma at the time. So he said, as soon as he came out and said, you know what he told me? He asked me to do 4 major cases. I was really 4 major cases. And sir, yes, and he also told me who the patients are. Come with me It is up to you to make a number for each patient. There won't be any other IDs. You create your own ID. You tell which is A group, who is O group, who is it. I don't worry about any of the other products of the blood. We used to give many sub-products of the whole blood. Just give me the whole blood. Don't worry about the platelets or other thing. Just give me the blood. And have enough blood for this year, this one, these 4 patients. Day 1, that's all I need. And I hope you can do that. You won't believe it, next 24 hours, worked right and left, and then, everything was ready.
he allowed you to sleep well for that night.
Sleep well on
so
the
that you're
18th,
energized.
and it made me think that what a great job I have done.
Yes.
Okay, and then the next day it tells, and then we work. And on the 22nd morning, we were finishing on 21st night and coming out. Everything is closed. We cannot even reach the ashram at the time because Prime Minister is coming, security. So we went around some village and then came back. Slept at around 2 o'clock, got up at 4:30. Now back to the hospital, be ready. Everything looked like perfect order kind of looking. Where is the dirt? Where is the thing? Students worked day and night. Unbelievable. So next day when we go, it looks so good. Prime Minister came. We couldn't be there outside when Swami, he was received. But we were inside waiting. And Professor Balasubramaniam was behind me, Dr. Gopinath, and so many older professors were behind me, and I was in front because he put me in charge. So Swami comes slowly. This is so and so and so, and then he's kind of introducing to Prime Minister Rao. So he said, 9 o'clock, I get the call from the surgeon. I need for this patient this many units. 4 cases went very well. Without any problem, everything was perfect. Okay?
Major surgeries.
It made me realize that for the first time, we are not the doers. He is the doer. He pretends as though he is making us do things. He does things. He makes it look like it's a coincidence, but it's a miracle he creates, and he wants to remain anonymous. It's a big lesson I learned from Bhagawan's Leela actually. So beautiful. It's full of compassion. Maybe one of the days after I've been going back and forth to work, one day he calls me right across the South Indian canteen. There is accommodation office, and between the 2 places on the street, Swami is walking with few more people. That's how it used to be. Swami was not coming in a car or anything. He's just walking and few people around him. Then he saw me going, hey, come. So I go quietly stand. This is after, he appointed and I'm working already for the... So, where did you go yesterday? I'm totally confused. And Swami, hey, you went by rickshaw. Yes, Swami. Where did you go by rickshaw yesterday? Swami, I went to the hostel, Swami, to see the warden. Yes. Why did you go by rickshaw? His question was that. Why did you go by rickshaw? And Swami, it is uphill with the heart problem. You shouldn't go by rickshaw. You know how many cars Swami has? Swami suddenly gets very mad. You know how many cars Swami has right here? 8 cars. Do I need 8 cars? I didn't say anything. You take 1 car and you drive. Don't go by rickshaw. He was really very angry at me. So I would have taken a rickshaw to go to the school, to get the list of the donors. That's why I went.
To the hostel.
Not even to the hospital, to the hostel.
Hostel.
Because there are, the warden said there is a list of donors you want to have. Yes, that will be very handy for me. So I will use it, to whom to call, which group. So everybody was helping me very much, no doubt about it. Here Swami is shouting at me for not going by rickshaw. Then I have so many cars. Then somebody next to, I forget who, I cannot remember now, was saying, Swami, in States it's all left-hand drive, Swami. Here it's right-hand drive. He gets so mad at him. What left-handed, what right-handed? All same drive. You take the car and drive. Go. So after that, I didn't know what to say. Slowly, I'm going to my room. And it was near the radio side thing on that side.
Yeah.
Our rooms were given. And I go there and I said, Swami is saying this thing and I cannot go by rickshaw. How are we going to? This is much before I think it would be about 8th, 10th or 11th, something like that, one of the days. So how am I going to do? So I go there to my room. Even before I enter my room, there is a gentleman holding a key for Swami's Maruti car.
Oh.
It will take maybe about maximum 5 minutes from that place behind the round building. So even before that, there is a car waiting for me. So, oh my God. So he hands over the key. Swami, here I'm thinking, Swami, you are so efficient, so prompt, so caring, compassionate. But how am I going to drive this? Because I was not ready to drive any car in India. Somebody comes and touches my shoulder. It was my brother from Pondicherry. He comes and he's a very good driver also. He said, I took a few weeks. I heard like you're going to be here, so I'm going to stay here. I said, oh my God, thank you so much. I gave the key to him. Can you drive Maruti? Oh, sure. Oh, no. Are you kidding? This is Swami's car. Are you making joke of it? No, Swami gave this key. We are supposed to use this car. And the person who gave me the key instructs me, this is only for my use and please not to give it to anybody else. That's the instruction from Swami. I said yes, and I gave the key. And since then, no matter where we go, people be thinking Swami is there in that car. So I used to get unusual unnecessary attention because of that. He really took very good care of me. And even my confusion was solved somewhat. We are not the doers. He is the doers. And he's trying to give everybody some experience. And I'm not the greatest doctor for him to use. He uses anybody as an instrument. He teaches a lesson. It's a great lesson I had during
This happened before the hospital inauguration or after?
Which one, sir?
The car episode.
Car episode is in between. I came on November 2nd. There was 8 or so. I asked Swami's permission to go to Pondicherry and bring some technicians. No, there are so many technicians here. He was saying, Swami is a Deepavali celebration. There is a holiday and they're not working. So I can quickly go to Pondicherry and bring from Jipmer some technicians. Okay, you can meet your parents also. Wow. Swami says, oh my God. So there is my ulterior motive, we can go for Deepavali. But he says, you can go, come soon. Something like that, like a father telling. Amazing. So that's the time. I got so many times fooled by Swami. And I'm thinking one way, then he'll think, and then I had a slap sometime and all that. It was all nice lesson he was giving. The very first day of the interview, when he appointed me as a consultant officer, whatever he called at the time, and so I'll be in charge of the lab. That's what he told me. So everything is over. He talked to me for a long time. I explained everything and he answered all my questions. So everybody is left. So I'm the last one to leave the interview room. Then he calls me, which hospital you want to work? And Swami, we talked about Super Speciality. Super Speciality is a big hospital. Swami, so the big hospital, Swami in Prasanthi, but whereas in Whitefield is a small general hospital, Swami. Yes, I know. Big hospital in Puttaparthi, very big hospital in Bangalore.
Swami told you that?
On that day, November 2nd, he told me. Then he thought, what is he talking about? It didn't make any sense to me.
Oh my God.
Didn't make any sense.
This is November 22nd.
Took 10 years for me to realize, my God, he knew everything.
This is November 22nd, 1991, he told you this.
91 he was saying.
Oh my God.
So Dr. Jivanandam is a surgeon from Chicago. We know him well. He said, Bala, Swami has announced another hospital in Bangalore. it's going to be even bigger than this one.
He told you at that time?
No. I mean, when the hospital was inaugurated, second time. So I remember my God, another one. Yes, Swami said, okay, 10 years ago he told me, can you believe this? Because I thought, what is he talking about? I really didn't make any sense at the time on the interview day. So, but 10 years later, yes, it was really mind-boggling. What all he did.
Phenomenal.
Many things during that 6 weeks' time. He's trying to teach so many lessons, so many ways. It's all up to us too. Are we picking it up or not?
You saw Bhagawan, yes, at the divine level operating, but at the human level also you saw him as an administrator.
I think my level of spirituality, whatever, I was looking more like a human being with some power and telling people, will you listen? And I happen to be, so it's all by chance. He just called me, okay, I happen to be a doctor, okay, you do this, or something like that. Whether he has even a plan, I didn't even realize, but my God, what a great administrator and greatest leader on earth. Those are the feelings which came subsequently.
As you reflect on.
Yes. And the last day I was leaving from this, Swami, you have to tell me when I should come back and join. So everybody thinks that I'm going to come back and join the hospital. Dr. Sathya said, whenever Swami tells you, that day, this is the place you're going to stay, this is your room, everything planned. So what to bring from there, we talked so much. I go to Swami. Swami came to the hospital that day. So I asked Swami, can I ask you, so tomorrow is my flight. Can I leave Swami tomorrow? Yes. Tomorrow, what time is your flight? So you're going from where? From Chennai, Swami, back to... Yes. You go tomorrow? Chala santosham. Swami, you have to tell me when I should come back. June. That's all he said. June. 6 months later, I came in June. So again, he would ask me a few questions. I met him in Bangalore. They were opening a radiology unit there in the general hospital. So Professor Balasubramanian told me, hey, don't sit for bhajans because Swami is coming and the time here. Otherwise you would miss a chance to have a good darshan close by. So you come to the office and I will take you where Swami comes. Be seated. Okay, let's see what Swami says. And so Swami came. So I didn't sit in the bhajan area. I went to the hospital. When we were there, here in my mind says, I came about 6 months back. Whether we would even remember me. Because millions of people were there. It's impossible. If at all it was me, I won't remember. Whether he would remember me, whether should I introduce again that I came and then he told me to come back in 6 months and all that. This is my mind, not really mature, I could see later on. So I go near him when he told me like maybe this is the distance. So I got up and then go and do namaskaram and then got up. He doctor then started telling him Prema Bhattu, Dr. Balasubramanian, all of them worked so much for the Super Speciality. America. He is introducing me to a few people who are sitting. Even I have the picture of that.
Oh my God.
Then he said, oh my God. He has answered my doubt and he knows who I am. And he knows that I am not getting it yet. So he said, I know. So how are you? All that, and bless me then also. So every time I come, I will ask the same question. He will say, Chala Santosham, not now. So Dr. Sathya thought, Bala, maybe you don't have 100% inclination to come. Maybe that's why Swami is not allowing you. So one of the days said, you know what? I know why. See, you have never applied formally. So we have a form and passport and all the pictures and whatnot we need. Maybe Swami is expecting for you to go through proper channel. Can you fill out the application form and with the pictures and everything? And I will give it to Swami, and then it will be easier. Swami say yes, then I will ask you, do you come? This was a discussion between me and Dr. Sathya. I said, no problem, sir. So I wrote the thing. I took the thing, I got an envelope, and I came for darshan to hand over to Dr. Sathya. So here I am sitting. So Dr. Sathya sits a little bit higher on there. So Swami came directly and picked up the application from me, and he left inside. I even put some pictures inside which says passport pictures cover. Little later, 1 minute later, he comes out and says passport. So he gives me the pictures, but that cover, it was not a passport. It was just a passport cover. It will say passport pictures. Inside those two pictures are there. I thought, oh, maybe I'm lucky because I had that. So I gave it to Sathya. Said, very good. Swami himself took, don't worry. So afterwards, I think they calls Dr. Sathya. He says, we are not going to hire any doctor now. Something like that. So many years later, every time this thing would be going, Swami, when should I come? I'll tell you. Children are still young. You have more responsibility. You have to take care of yourself. And all these things you'll say. So I just listen and go. But it's such a great planner for our life. I just cannot thank him enough. Absolutely no. Even one day Dr. Sathya said, sorry, I bothered you so much. Only last week Swami told me that you are having some heart problem. You need to be there for that to get fixed. And after everything is okay, then only Dr. Bala will come.
Which year was this?
This was a year or two. Let me say, I cannot to come back. And one of the time when I came, so that's why I believe he was not letting you come. So I said, oh my God, is that the reason? It is very true. I used to get very irregular heartbeat. It is not like fixing just like that during the interview time. But even later I started having, and it was only until 2008 I suffered for about 10 years with that. So Swami takes care in between all the, my medical problems, he takes care. That's what he said on day one. You don't worry. You take care of all the patients. I take care of your family and children, everybody. This is on day one when he called me inside. That's the time I get appointed and he tells me all the thing. You don't worry. I will take care. So many times, he has talked to me. One day, one of the years when I came for interview, when I came for visiting Swami, in the veranda, I was sitting and then I had few letters in my hand. So he comes closer to me. How is that Bala? So here I'm thinking, he's asking about which Bala, in my mind. I had 3 letters, one from my wife, Padmini Bala, another lady by name Mrs. Bala also, and third also another Bala. So here very cleverly I'm going to Swami. Swami, which Bala? Swami, I have 3 letters for you from this Bala, this Bala. He gave me a big slap. Big slap. He was telling me, నాకు అన్నీ తెలుసు. స్వామికి తెలీదా? నాకు అన్నీ తెలుసు. You don't have to tell me. You don't have to detail me or any of this now. Swami knows. We talk about Swami. We talk how omnipotent, omnipresent, omniscient and all that. But when it comes to real, when you face him, you think that you are just a person and he is another person. So that's why he gave a big slap and doctor, he got you good today. Something like that, we were joking. But that cheek, I think, this cheek was having fragrance. That fragrance was there throughout the day. My little niece used to come and, this is great. This is Swami's hand, touching my cheek. It was unusual. It was so beautiful.
Amazing.
So Swami has helped me so many ways. I'm just a totally an unknown person, I could say, in the organization, or I was not anybody. But why me? Only He knows. He just put me to make me realize there is some power like Swami. Whether we want it or not, whether we like it or not, whether we need it or not, there is a spirituality inside us. And that seed He has given, it's up to us to develop that seed. And He has been saying all the time, you are not just an ordinary human being. We think that we are human being, we come to Parthi, we get some spiritual experience. But Bhagawan has very clearly said, you are not just ordinary human beings. You are spiritual beings with human experience, not human beings with spiritual experience. You would say
Yes.
that. So beautifully He has said so many times. And it really makes sense now after many years. Oh my God, what a great opportunity we all had. People now start wondering what to do now. Swami is no longer there. His physical presence is not there. Where would I get his letters? What can I ask him? So we ask Swami, when he says something, go back, take back the news. But everybody was so kind of, especially at that time in April when this happened, 2011, we planned a very big puja for Swami. Bino is in the hospital. I was getting the report like every day, how he's doing. Medically, I know it's almost incurable kind of state is there, just lying down. So hard, any experts. Why can't we take him to Mayo Clinic? Why can't we do this? This is my mind thinking. But reading the whole thing, it's going to be almost impossible for him to come out of this. So we were having a puja for Swami that day, and big one, by our Chicago devotees. So at night, they called me from here. As soon as Swami passed away, this is the story. Swami left his physical body. Early morning, we have puja planned. The priest is ready. All about 200, 300 people are getting together in one hall. Next day, we went to the hall. Everybody who heard about this started crying. So we have to say something. So I was given the mic, say something, because everybody is crying. Suddenly I prayed to Swami, Swami, what happened to you? You said you'll be here for many more years. Why? What am I going to say? I get a clear feeling from Swami, I have not gone anywhere. I was a lighthouse. You think the lighthouse is gone, but look up, I am a sunlight. I was giving you thing as a lighthouse only for few sailors. I am a sunlight, I am giving the bright light to the whole world. I have not gone anywhere. I am in you, I am with you, I am always here. This is a kind of feeling I get. So I just said what I said now. And a lot of people, that goes on into everybody's mind. So I used to tell them also, like, you hold on to Swami's feet. The only prayer I have, Swami, I'm holding on to your feet. Even if you kick me, please bless me that I don't lose my grip. So this is the only prayer I have, like for Swami. Over many years of talking to him, behaving the way I behaved and learning many experiences, I have no problem. And my kids are all born and brought up in USA, every day bhajans and so they are all even more devoted to Bhagawan, I see, than me. And Swami said he will take care of everything, and he has been taking care of, very well. No doubt about it.
So, by His divine design, He ensured, He gave you that opportunity to be part of the hospital in its initial stage. But after that, He wanted you to be back in the US. And for reasons which you are perhaps now realizing more and more.
That's true. Why I keep coming? And the last, maybe I should mention about this one. 2009, February, March, I was here. So I was working in the hospital too. I was sitting, that's the last day I was leaving. March 13th, I feel. So I was sitting in the veranda. Usually the doctors don't sit because I'm leaving. So they said, okay, you have a blessing and then go. I had many pictures in my hand. This was 2009, March. And Swami, then he went inside to Bhajan hall, inside the mandir there. So a minute later, that boy who pushes Swami's cart, he came out and said, Swami wants you, sir. So I go and stand near him, go inside. And within a minute he came. He sat in the interview room, just him and me. First he looked at all the pictures so beautifully, who is this, nice, like a family talk. The second thing, I asked him about my kids, and he said he will take care of everybody. And the wedding and all, don't worry, you bring your son here, I know, I will see him. So after he said all that, I asked, this is one wish, Swami, from me. Many Chicago devotees always say they don't get a good chance like I get every time I go. Swami talks to you or take your letters and all that. But we never have the opportunity to go closer to Swami. This something was in my mind, I think. Maybe I asked that, Swami prompted me to. So I asked Swami, many Chicago devotees want to come and see you, Swami. Is it possible? Why not? You bring them June, July. Swami, March, June, July, now or next year. Can bring next year, but better this year. Bring them this year itself. Because next year again more people will come. After that, next year become very difficult.
He told that?
Yeah. He says afterwards it become very difficult. I never realized that. It was only later, oh my God, he said that 2011 he was not there. So he knows. So at that time, when I asked about Chicago devotees, bring any number is okay, but bring them this year itself, June, July. So we went back and I asked Swami, when many people come, all the accommodations and all that to be arranged, I mentioned somebody's name, to so-and-so Swami. Exactly said, you don't write to anybody, you write to me. That's exactly what he mentioned. So yes, Swami. So I started corresponding regularly to Bhagawan and how many people are there coming, how many. So totally we are about 400 people.
400?
400.
From Chicago?
Beautiful accommodation. Everybody helped us so well. We were talking for next 3 months about the discipline and Prasanthi, how we should all behave. Everybody prepared well. Their skit or the thing, performing and everything in case Swami says, okay, Chicago, go too. We should be ready. That's my thought. So it was the most hard work part of our devotees to show their devotion, and it was so beautiful. And Swami wasn't even well at the time. Swami will go inside and come out. He was not well for about a week. We were not even sure whether our time 1 week. But he would come, he would ask me, how many people? Did everybody come? Everybody would not have come at the time. Almost everybody, yes, I know. It's still more to come. He will say and then go. So every day we thought he's going to let us. So we'll ask the person who is in charge whether we could do our skit and everything, our play to Bhagawan. They said it's only 3 months you are prepared. but we need 6 months of preparation before we can say okay for you to do a stage show in front of Bhagawan. So I said, however, they said, if Bhagawan asks you to do that, it is up to him and you, sir. On July 4th morning, we get a call and said, they were saying, Swami wants us to sing the morning bhajan. So we led the bhajan instead of college boys that day. It was the first time, they were all saying, oh my God, they are letting you to sing. Usually, it's only college boys, never, And Swami, we were all so thrilled, like we could sing in front of him. So after that, for a few days, the people started leaving because our 1 week period is over. The last day they were all leaving, still there were about 70, 80 of us waiting for Swami. And that afternoon, Swami comes and he says, bring everybody.
Okay.
So he goes already inside the mandir, and we were all thinking Swami is sitting here. We were all running through and trying to collect everybody. I didn't know because our group was over that day, so we are not sitting all together also. Everybody who overstays, so we, I had to call everybody. Finally, they all came running. When we all entered in the room, not the way Swami goes, like the other hall, right there Swami is sitting. Go. Now, it was such a beautiful interview we all had. Whoever was present that day, he gave Pada Namaskar to everybody. He talked to everyone. He materialized, many things. And almost about an hour, he spent so much time with us. And when he came out, almost ready for Aarti. So he came out that song was over and Aarti was there. And when he was going inside to the car, he called me. Already they took pictures in our group. So, such a beautiful, loving. And he tells people there, today I feel better because of Chicago devotees.
Swami told that.
Their devotion makes me feel better today. So this is we were so touched by that. Somebody said, this is what Swami was telling when you were leaving. And so he is there. He is always there. So, but this time when I come here, I look at the hospital, I look at the whole thing. I met Professor G.V. also. It is Swami is still here. He hasn't left anybody anywhere. Swami is always in our and inside. It may not be visible physically for everyone, but there are so many miracles happening. So this big assurance that he is there, he will take care, and we should stick to him. And it's the greatest teaching in my life. And I've learned so much. I'm to learn more. And it is great to be in the company of Bhagawans. And so we are doing our own little service for thinking we are doing for Swami. Actually, we are doing for ourselves.
You can't even imagine how life would have been if you would not have brought us to his fold.
Absolutely. Even this little conversation we are having, I think he has planned already, So he knows when to get me. Now, I never ever thought that we are going to be talking today about my experience. And nothing prepared, and I just came whatever. And that's his will, and so beautiful.
And that's why I think it was straight from the heart. And that's why it was so enlivening. It's amazing.